Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Dire Bear and welcome to Falskallan Nights. I am your host, the Bard with no names. Sorry, I forgot to turn the sound off on the Twitch thing, so I just heard myself like 5 seconds after. Oops. Before we get into tonight's session, we want to say that our good friend Steve is not going to be with us tonight, for he has to rest before going on a long trip tomorrow, which I completely understand. I just want to say that my heart aches very so terribly that he can't make it here tonight, and the fact that I'm very upset and terse with him at this moment. Not really, but before we get into tonight's game and session, let's get into announcements. Yim. Just wanted to see the momentary panic on your face.
I was like, oh no.
That being said, welcome to Technical Difficulties, the D&D game. Line D&D Beyond. Man, I miss Tom. It was so easy just like not having to think about this stuff before going into game anymore. It was done. We want to thank our sponsor D&D Beyond for sponsoring us tonight, because the sponsorship money is really helping Dire Bear grow with sponsorship growths. Use it. We also have Dire Bear merch. I'm not wearing any of it right now, and but yeah, wear it. We also like to thank Charminar with their group of all bards. Yes. Let's go into tonight's session. We're gonna flail and burn. Let's just do this. Go, 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 go. Last time on Falskallan Nights, Team Them finally made their way out to Baltras's manor, to have a conversation with the patron of House Darian. Meeting with him and meeting with some of the lovely house crew. The help, the maids, the butlers. They finally had a conversation and started realizing and connecting a lot of puzzle pieces. Having used one of their lockets on a tome that Team Them had procured so long ago, shifting the scrambled words to show the secret messages that was in behind, showing that it was once held by the Grand Magus of Skogigarde, of the Dread Plane. Not knowing any of this, Team Them have more questions reading through the book, but one name keeps coming up: Petrina. Realizing their connection, Team Them are going into Menestad to see this Petrina, the ghost that bears a striking name resemblance. And with that, let's go. So at this point, I see you guys at the guild hall. You've made your way back. You had made your way back to the guild hall to go pick up Beatrice, because, well, she was sawing some pretty heavy logs after that impressive display of forging.
Eyes open, snoring.
Do we give the circlet back? Did we take
Circlet.
it?
Forget who
Steal it from me?
was it Yim that was wearing it?
No.
I don't remember
I
What?
wanted
who
it,
was.
but no.
What circlet?
The smart one.
We made a joke about someone else wearing it. I don't remember
Oh.
if it was actually done.
I was not aware of any of this shenanigans. I'm under the assumption that Beatrice has all of her clothing on and unmolested.
It was just the crown, or it was just the circlet. Figured you didn't need it to sleep.
You leave the crown titties alone.
Just all your dreams get suddenly low resolution.
From having very vivid dreams, it just goes into a static blur. No, but
Great.
either way, so you're at the guild hall. Anything that you're specifically wanting to do before getting out of here? Are you actually going to work on that spell, or are you still waiting for Halsterian?
Given B some more rest, we'll probably do it after we get back from Menestad.
Muchos excelentes.
Would I still be exhausted, or would I have used that as a long rest?
Well, you would have had a long rest.
Just double checking.
Yeah, you would have had a long rest on that one. Like, yeah, the extended sleep during this whole time. At this point, it's like mid-afternoon.
So I'm up and ready to go. Let's go.
Yeah. Like,
Mm,
you would have that long rest from the initial sleep. The extra sleep that you've had, I wouldn't consider a long rest just yet.
Mm.
So you still have 1 point of exhaustion, if I'm correct. Because I think it gave you 2 from working for basically in a blast furnace.
Yeah, I had 2. So I'm still at 1.
Yep.
Wouldn't it be cleared now? Because that would be 2 long rests in a row.
No, I just
No. This is the
I
next
just-
day still.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, it was like
And it wasn't
4
just
hours,
enough.
like 8 or whatever.
Exactly. Like you didn't sleep long enough. It's one of those things where your body is naturally telling you to get up
Yeah.
because you have rested, even though you're exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know you know. You're here. Do you consider this restful? Are you entertained?
We'll see.
It's good lad. So at this point, still, how do you get to Menestad? You got to tell me what your overall plan is, if whether or not you're going to roleplay this or not.
Well, if everyone's ready,
Do we have a teleportation circle?
we do. Might be advised to reach out ahead of time.
Yeah, no, it's worked out for us before, not doing it.
Honestly don't know who to tell anyway. We'll work it out when we get there. It only go right.
Oh no.
Ymir's getting ready to speak.
You just get the jowls moving.
And I will draw out a circle and cast brain. Circle of teleportation to Menestad Castle. If I can find my sheet and make sure that's the right place. There it is. Yes,
Okay.
Menestad Castle.
Alrighty, let's do this. So you spend the, what is it, 10 minutes? Or it was like a minute to
1
draw
minute.
out the 1 minute to draw out the circle. Pulling out the chalk and starting to do like basically a ballet dance of the wizards, where you're just drawing it on the ground. At this point, it's like you guys step back and see basically Howard with a large stick and a chalk at the end of it, just kind of.
It's just a sword with a little modification to the tip of the sheath that I can put a piece of chalk on it and just, dance around.
He feels like he looks elegant. Outside, it looks like a child really trying its best at its first recital. It's an applauded effort, but at the end of it, it is a beautiful circle. The display definitely does not show. Pardon me. This is what happens when I actually start speaking for once throughout the day. The runes of the location markers start glowing with arcane energy and power. It is ready to go.
Everybody in. And I shoo them all in.
Yeah, you shepherd them. You basically use the sword and be like, okay, here. Use enlarge and just kind of pull everything in like a shepherd's stick. And Halcyon will be with you guys as well, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
We just leave him behind.
Yeah, you just leave him behind. The teleportation goes off without a hitch, and you land yourself into the antechamber under Castle Menestad. It's at this point you see what looks to be like a younger half-elven woman kind of manning the station. You realize that she's wearing the Academy's like scribs. And at this point, it's more or less just kind of a watch post position, not expecting anybody. Just looks up, scream, like looks
Hello.
around.
Hi.
You're not. Help!
I am
Help!
not. I am not.
Wait.
But who are you?
Is it? Help! She starts screaming at the top of her lungs, just for help. With that, at that point, you hear at the top of the long stairwell that leads down into these chambers open up, and two guards come down, full on Menestad gear, the yellow and oranges that represent the city of Menestad. Spears at the ready. Boom! Who goes there?
Oh, hi.
State your name.
I'm Yima. We're them. And, we're kind of with the colors, and so we thought we'd be able to just quickly pass through. We have business in Menestad. And, sorry we didn't call in. Normally we like to do that, but just didn't have the time.
Make a persuasion check. I am tempted to give it a disadvantage, but no.
You're a kind and gracious DM. Because that was needed. That's a 15.
15. You say exactly where you are.
Okay.
What? Who gave you access to these? At this point, you hear more coming down the stairs. More guards coming down the stairs, spears at the ready, just kind of now starting to circle and surround you.
I don't remember.
Who sent you?
We sent ourselves.
You sent yourself. See it.
We're on the way to the guild hall.
There were no. It's at this point the young half-elven woman. There was no schedules or anything coming in today. So this is nope, not any of this. Nope, not at all. It's at this point you see like a guard captain come down. Yeah, like a guard captain come down, and he's like, "What's going on?"
Spend one of the
And some of the guards are like, "Unauthorized teleportation, sir." He's like, "Well, we'll arrest him. We'll bring him in for questioning." It's at this point the guards start coming in closer and closer.
Look, really, we're just passing through. We were given these access to this a while ago. I do apologize that we didn't call ahead.
Ju-
Howard?
Juju, are you looking up NPC stuff?
Yeah, I'm trying to see when I originally got it. It might have just been one of the 2 I started with. Because you start with 2 when you get the spell.
Okay, well, at this point, the guards start coming closer and closer, and they start pulling out handcuffs. Handcuffs.
I'm not gonna resist them or anything. I'm not trying to make the mess bigger. Reach out to Glam and the guild hall. I mean, here it's we're definitely not scheduled. Sorry, I wasn't sure who to reach out to.
It's at this point they're already handcuffing the lot of you and starting to take you up into the holding cells that are up into Castle Menestad. You get put into you get led through the castle, put into the holding cells, and at this point you all of you are now basically in one cell lumped together, basically desheathed, and like all your weapons have been taken, all your items and whatnot have been procured by them, and you're just sitting there. I'd like one of you guys to roll a d6 for me.
You got it?
Who's got it?
I got it. 2.
This is how the campaign.
What'd you get?
2.
Okay. So at this point, about 2 hours later, you see a guard come in, and you recognize the small gnomish woman with bright pink hair, like a pixie cut on the one side, and the hair flying down. You also notice that the burn marks on her are now significantly healed. And she looks up. Yep, they're with me. Yep.
Well, we
I assume you're gonna
say hi normally.
You have no idea what kind of strings I had to pull to get you guys out of here. Please, as she looks up to one of the guards, please release them. They're under guild jurisdiction. If you have a problem with it, you could take it up with Crimson Pride. And at that point, the guard, mid-aged human male, like scruffy beard, hasn't been kept in a while, and kind of like a bulbous nose, just looks up. Whatever, it's not really my jurisdiction to really give a shit. Here, just unlocks the door, opens it up. If you want your stuff, it's around the corner. And Glam gets you to take your. My brain is working faster than my mouth. Let's slow down just a tad. Takes you to go grab your things. Everything is there, except there seems to be a couple gold missing.
Bitches. Which one of them arrested us? Are they around?
Now it's personal. That's what you get for an unauthorized teleportation into the middle of a secured sector.
They shouldn't just be giving out its coordinates.
Anyway, she takes you guys outside the castle walls, and you're overlooking Mead Meadows and the Iron District. Man, it's been so long since I've been here. Or Iron Bridge. Welcome back to the soul of the Heartland. Yeah. No, welcome back. I just had to reread my notes on this one. That's okay. Heading down the main stairwell that is lined with beautiful flowered gardens that are starting to bloom, and they're starting to be well maintained and procured. Seeing that everything has been cleaned out since the winter's fall. Glam finally, after getting past the portcullis of Castle Menestad, looks to you. What the hell?
Well, we were told you wanted to see us, and we had to make it exciting.
Why? Why? There's always something going on with you guys, specifically.
Exactly.
I get none of this shit from any of the other groups in this goddamn guild, but you! Y'all seem to be making a ruckus.
Would it be us if we didn't do this?
This is also true. She just comes up and hugs your thighs and your legs. It's good to see you guys.
You look like you're doing well.
I'm doing a lot better. She holds up her hand, and a little firebolt kind of just wilts, starts in her hand and wilts out almost immediately. Because you're still kind of close to the to the castle, and people can kind of get jumpy, especially after what happened in Menestad. Yeah, Elvis has been doing pretty good. He's been teaching me all this stuff, and he's setting up. He's been setting up that teleportation circle. I think he's pretty much done, really. So if you just want to come by and take a look at it, by all means, it's open. There's a bed. What are you here for?
A couple of errands, as well as seeing you. See the circle we just heard about recently, actually. And probably take you up on the offer of bed at some point tonight. We got a few places to go in town, out of town, things here and there. Looking into a lot of things. A whole lot of things.
Well, seems like y'all been keeping along. Whatever. I'm going back, so don't get into trouble again. If I have to try and bail you out, I don't think my influence will reach that far again.
Won't happen again.
Make a deception check.
At that circle. You're gonna love it. I'm blind. 7.
She's just kind of just like punches you right in the thigh, because that's pretty much at height. All right, stop by. I'm gonna be back. I need to go back. The Brandish Bards are getting kind of peckish.
Oh, Okay. Glad to hear they're all right.
Yeah, yeah, they've been hanging around here, cleaning up after the mess. Well, you didn't make the mess in Menestad, but you certainly didn't help it.
Did what we could.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So that.
The
What?
birds
do-
live. Also, I will be right back. Someone take over.
What?
Wow, three of the most energetic
over the
players
building?
right now.
Like
We got one on like 6 hours of sleep, if not less. We got one tire burb and then B.
So,
Headacheville.
Yeah, ooh, that's never fun.
So are we gonna go see Gilbin
Yes.
like right away, or like what's next on
I
kind
mean,
of?
we're already here, so we would go see him. I mean, I don't know if he's expecting guests, but I don't really give a shit. He's gonna be expecting, regardless.
Oh, he wouldn't turn us away.
Yeah, he better not.
Yeah, we go way back.
Mm.
It's a bit silly, but
My what? Condolences.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna take damage from that. The big word. Yeah. Spleen has a headache from saying that word.
You definitely have a headache. Oh, just-
Ooh,
Let me use the big words. I can use the big words.
thanks, babe. I don't know if I just hope he's got information. I mean, we haven't spoken to him in gods know how long.
Yeah,
I'm hoping that he's at least within the loop.
yeah. He and Zabrak probably should be able to.
Sabrak's here?
DM, it's Zabrak, right?
yes, it is.
Yeah. You know
He,
Zabrak?
he used to run with Gumpy T.
Oh. Did you know he talks?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the one that doesn't talk.
Yeah, he
Now
talked.
He talks.
He
He
talks?
he talked. He talked around you.
Did he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because eventually he tried to keep
Mm,
years of trying to keep the stoicism, but Tobias just being Tobias got underneath his skin
that's
so
true.
badly.
And I assume no one in B's family learned fucking thieves can't. So
No, not at all.
never would have understood it if he didn't.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just through the times of forced integration with the Ballbuster Brigade after the fact. He was brought along. He was not willing. He was brought. He's basically that one uncle that everybody just doesn't want him to be around, but brings him around just to have the face of being like, we did this as a family to share the optics of
As
like,
a family. Yeah.
as a family. It's like, I don't care if you don't like it. We don't like it. We're not going to like this together.
Um,
Of course, it didn't stop him from being a shithead anyway and, and being a bit of a prankster.
Well,
So yeah. Figured if Gelbin doesn't know, then now we see Zabrak. If they're not already together when we see them.
yeah.
And Howard, what do you think of trying to get more of that whiskey? Like that went that exploded
We
a
should
lot.
tell him about that. I feel like he's the kind of person who would really appreciate that story. I'm not
Yeah.
100%, but based on the fact that he puts gunpowder in it.
If push comes to
Safe
shove,
drink?
What was that?
Is that safe to drink? Gunpowder whiskey?
Probably.
it is now.
At least to some extent. I mean, some of the military dudes would do that here and there. I don't think.
Are you
it's
talking out of
advised.
experience? are you talking
Yeah.
out of Howard or Juju?
A little of both. Not gunpowder, but
It's like drinking
Carbon.
several 5-hour energies. This is not good for you. But people do it anyway,
yeah.
especially in the military.
It's the military. What are they gonna do? All right. You're gonna try and find your way to Gelbin?
Yes.
To Gelbin and the rats.
Do you want me to send him a message first, or do we just drop in?
Let's drop in.
Okay.
You've already started this afternoon with a drop in. You might as well just keep going.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah, it seemed to do really well the first time. Why not
Yeah.
continue on that trend?
Okay. If you're gonna go drop in on him, where are you gonna start looking?
Fuck, we need to remember the way.
Oh,
That hit me as you started to say it.
It's like
Well, we can just walk to the sewers and I could just yell Gelbin over and over. Gelbin, it's spleen. It's spleen, Gelbin. Oh, so handsome, Gelbin. Spleen is saying this.
I'm sure Hal will love being back in the sewers and wandering around in the sewers.
Yep.
oh god, that again. I'm
Wouldn't-
going back to the guild. I'm going to the guild
Wouldn't
house, and he just walks off.
Wouldn't
I was
Yimmer
about
have
to say
some
that.
kind of idea? Like all those years working in the underground.
See, now that's the thing I was waiting for.
Okay.
I'm like, at this point, I've given you enough information about your backstories and everything else. The fact is, I'm just waiting for you to start telling me what you want.
Okay. Yimmer will navigate back to Gelbin.
Oh,
There you
God.
go.
Confidently.
Hey.
Thank goodness, because I really don't want Gelbin to have that go to his head. Oh my God.
I imagine for 5 minutes we walked around the sewers going, Gelbin, you're so handsome. Gelbin, you're great. And then Yimmer was like, oh, wait, I know the way.
And
No,
then it's been
no,
like,
Yimmer
Gelbin, you
just-
suck ass.
No, Yimmer just being a shithead would have just let it happen for about a half hour before he got bored. It's like, okay, I actually know the way.
No.
I never knew that's how you felt, Spleen.
Ah, God. Ooh. I'm gonna
Do I
dunk your
need to
head
be
underneath this
worried?
water. You better stop.
Oh, we're in the sewers?
Mhm.
Is there
The
like
sewers would be the best way because a lot of Gelbin's actual, like, he has buildings in which he has his operations, but they're normally closed off from outsiders,
okay.
like barricaded one way or another. So in turn, it, like, anybody trying to come in from street level is more or less is a forced interaction.
Okay.
Well, you have to go in through the sewers to find the proper markers and follow them to get back to the rat's den.
Just so I can visualize this, is this like a large sewer with like a river of shit in it, for lack of a better term, or is this more like a creek? Or
The sewers that you are in right now are not one of the main like sewer, or they're not a main estuary of human sewage. It was more or less like a lot of relief lines that have been built into the city way back during the formative and founder years. It's a lot of this is more elven in design, especially when you're in the military ward and starting to head towards Iron Bridge, where Galvin's crew normally preside. Yeah.
I guess what I'm getting at overall is,
No, you're not
Can-
walking through shit.
well, I knew I wouldn't be walking through it because for a long time I've had this ring of water walking
But
for so
how-
long.
How far under it can Spleen dunk his head?
You want to
No,
find out?
How much
Yimmer's running away
space?
across the ship.
But at that point,
you little man. I love a good chase.
there isn't any poo here.
Yet.
So yeah,
You're desperate to have shit in the sewer
Yeah.
so that you could say you've walked on shit.
Yeah.
done it, walked through it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. You people. Okay. You do end up making your way in between the districts of Iron Bridge Military Ward, which is predominantly like the half pint neighborhood, which was ultimately designed around the smaller sized folk to be much more naturalized instead of trying to convert something, a lot of the larger spaces into something smaller. You end up finding a lot of the thieves' canting markers for the rats, and I don't need you to make a history check at this point because, again, your background with these guys are thorough and extensive, and you've been able to walk in and out of the rat's den for years without any real issue and whatnot. You end up making yourself ending up in a main junction point underneath where a bunch of the sewer lines start converging into one spot, leading further down what would to be towards. Jeez, how dare I not know my river systems? The almond. The Almond River, Awmun.
Okay.
That's the main river, not leading through the city, but leads on the outskirts. That being the case, you find one of the main markers and indicators opening up a sewer hatch and jumping down. And there you see a couple of goblin guards just kind of sitting there shooting the shit. You just hear it, you open it up, and all you hear is, so anyway, what I did to this girl last night was absolutely ravishing. She wanted it, and it was absolutely beautiful. She's calling me back, begging me for more. It was, you should have seen it. And the other one, why are you telling me all of this again? I don't care.
Well, is that because you're not getting any yourself, friend?
What are you? Oh, Yammer.
Hello.
It's nice to know that you're still alive. Okay, it's good to see you too. And yes, he's not getting any because he's too much of a prick. I'd like to see myself as more like a gentleman. And he's still they're all wearing generally well tailored clothing, and especially accentuate clothing that would also accentuate the burn scar mark that Spleen, the same scar marks that Spleen has on her neck.
Yep.
So, what brings you to this edge of the woods?
Oh, here to see Gelbin.
Okay. Is he expecting you?
Is he ever?
Will be, because we're going in.
Well, like nothing hostile. Like it really just haven't seen him in a while. We just happened to be passing through, and so wanted to just come say hi.
I might
Make-
be a little hostile.
make a persuasion check. I don't know if I want to do it at disadvantage because spleen has just been provoking.
I feel as though I should have had an advantage until spleen.
Yeah.
You know what? You're right. You're absolutely right on that point. Just roll it naturally.
Oh, natural. 14 plus 11, 25.
Ooh, Jesus.
I'm doing what I'm good at, guys.
Just. I bet it'd be nice for Gelman to come and see you again. So, if you're going to do that, come with us. Yeah, we'll show you the way. Yeah, we will. We'll just do that for sure. Come.
Well, just as a thank you, guys, for you, my friend, just to keep the good times going.
I was waiting for it. I was
Yep.
like, he's
No, he
100%.
And for you, my friend, I hope the good times find you soon.
You know, when I started this imaginary conversation in my head, I actually did not consider that as an option.
It's right there. Like, what am I supposed to do?
I realize that, but I'm thinking bigger picture.
Mhm.
Well, now they are too.
Now they're all too. Oh, tell me, what is it? You go through the explanation. It's like, all right, you give it a try. As at that point, they lead you through, and at this point, you start smelling the heavy smells of distillation, fermentation, and well, whiskey.
Oh,
Whiskey and a little bit of gunpowder.
Mhm.
Eventually making it to the central brewery, you see what is all these goblins working up and down a lot of the distillation chambers, the brewing vats, and everything that and everything there. They're kind of not moving in clockwork because you see like a brewmaster on like a catwalk over the top, overwatching everything, making sure that everything is portioned out properly and correctly. It's at this point you hear the one goblin yell up, "All right, Kevin!" At that point, the brewmaster, but he's out of his office. If that's all you want, fuck off. Hey, fuck off. And he's just kind of like split. They split their ways. Every one of these goblins are dressed pretty damn good. Like they're dressed sharply, but it's also like work attire sharply.
is it better than last time we saw them?
No, it's about the same.
Okay.
Maybe an updated like some of them seem to have an updated wardrobe, but it's more or less like
Khakis.
exactly.
Okay. It's not like it seems like he's come into a lot of money or something.
No,
Okay.
nothing has changed that much. It's more or less just like it's like when a new coworker buys like a new set of clothing.
Mm.
It's more or less that sort of thing.
Okay.
So it's like it's same style adjacent,
Okay.
but it's still new, it's still fresh, and still hasn't really been worked in. So heading up to the office space, you notice that this distillery is in what would be like a very old church, like an old holy ground that had been long abandoned and well derelict until Galvin had come in, noticing that all the windows are basically shut in and any sort of like heat or venting has been routed into the sewer itself. So you're getting like fresher air coming in from underneath the church itself while a lot of it's being thrown back into the sewer. That's where you get a lot of those smells of the whiskey and the fermentation going on. Eventually making yourself into the office, you just hear, Gavin, got a visitor for you. You just hear, oh, let him in. The door opens and you come into like this finely furnished office. You see casks and kegs lining the walls of vintages and brews that are very, very old and also marked from ages long past. So these are extremely, extremely old. You look up. You see a goblin with a cut off collared shirt, nice bow tie up front, the vest that is beautifully embroidered, following down, and that has suspenders going over top of it. Top hat on, and he is ripped like you wouldn't believe. Just the muscles in his arms are just absolutely beautifully divined. It may be the lighting, it just may be the grime and the sweat kind of bring everything in. It is hot in this room, but it doesn't really seem to bother him because it doesn't look like he's sweating so much.
He's glistening.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, hello, love. It's good to see you again. Looking at you, Spleen. Emma.
Hey, Galvin.
Oh, look at you. Come on in.
Nice seeing you again.
It's nice seeing you again, too. It's that he brings you in, he shuts the door behind you, snaps his finger, and you see a bunch more goblins just kind of come out from like in behind the barrels and the crates and whatnot. Pretty ballsy of you coming back here. I heard you'd be working for the colors, the government. Heard you started becoming one of them lackeys. Doing the beck and whim.
God, and it was horrible. I mean, we broke off because it was just bullshit. It's not worth it. But sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. People were dying. Things were happening. Shit was not being done. They send us to do the shit that needs to be done. We don't get a lot of recognition. I'm looking at Howard. Is that?
Yep.
Yeah. What on the stuff we fucking did for them, and they just push us aside, or we just want information.
Mm-hmm.
If we're gonna be in the shit, like, we need to be in the shit. And I'm tired of it. All the rules and you know what I mean.
Why is nothing we warn them about a priority? Why do we never hear anything back about anything we warn them about? It gets old.
Make a persuasion check.
Me?
Yes, Spleen. Since you decided to be the talker.
I have no bonuses to that. That's just a 15, so that's not bad. But
That's fair. He likes you.
I remember the terms they left on.
Yep.
You're telling me that you left them, and now you're coming back to me. What am I, what am I? A leftover?
Sloppy seconds.
The sloppy seconds.
Hey, sloppy seconds are not that bad.
I don't like being put second. That's the problem. If you're going to commit to me, you're going to commit to me.
Now,
Isn't that right, Emma?
Well, yes, but I kind of feel as though we're having two different conversations now. Just saying. Really, we just wanted to come back and, say hi. Kind of as Spleen said, we are no longer laws of convenience with the colors. It was more of a we scratched their back and we thought we'd get our back scratched when we turned around. Turned out we got fucked.
Yeah, and
So-
it
I'll
wasn't
be
a
honest,
good.
it wasn't even that much. Couldn't even call us for the colors. It was more for getting problems resolved for the country and doing what we believed was that, and apparently was just being led along for whatever the fuck they wanted done.
So you're telling me that you expected something from the government, they turned around and fucked you in the ass, and then you said thank you?
Not
No,
thank
I
you,
said
but
fuck
you
you.
know, now that you phrase it like that.
Because it kind of sounds exactly like that.
I don't know. Howard and I, Hale and I, we didn't say thank you. That I'm sure of. We got fucked.
All I know is the fact that you guys started working for them, you became impossible to track. And for about, what, months, you never even bothered to give me a note.
I'm sorry.
I can't write, so I.
That's true. I didn't know we were supposed to give you a note.
I'm new here.
Yes, I know, I see that, love. By the way, you look gorgeous tonight.
Thank you. You look very handsome. Spleen was right.
See? Now, this is where you get... This is how you start off a conversation.
Did you know that we walked around the sewers for like 30 minutes saying, oh, Gelbin is so handsome. Oh, Gelbin is the greatest. And we didn't get any answer.
Did you really? Now, please tell me more. He pulls up a seat. Tell me more.
Well, we
We
didn't know how to
rolled
get
our
to you,
eyes.
so.
Ugh.
You know, we're gonna have to frisk you, right? To make sure that there isn't anything government on you. I don't like having their spies around me. You have to understand this, right? It's just pure business. Boys!
Hey, before you do that,
Ah,
just let me say what counts as government.
that'll be up to me to decide.
Well,
Boys!
we-
And he said, like, the goblins start coming in, and at this point, you guys are starting to get frisked up and down. Your weapons, again, are being confiscated.
Hey, wash your hands. Wash your
Why?
hands.
It's at this point, like, Spleen, the lockets on you get found. Actually, hold on one second. Let me... Okay, what would be a related skill to sleight of hand? Give me a sleight of hand check. This is to see how well you have concealed the lockets on you.
Okay. Okay, I do have bonus.
It just took me a hot second to realize that.
30-20.
Nice. So these goblins are like basically doing a pat down to see if there's any sort of like quote unquote dangerous weapons. I mean, all weapons are dangerous in one way or another, but like your magical items and whatnot are being confiscated. We're just going to hold on to these while we have a conversation now. You're lucky I don't have you killed on the spot.
Would we get to keep her cane?
Yes, because it is a cane and they don't have the magical means to figure out what exactly it is.
Okay, just double checking.
Yep. You can't. You don't part an old man from his stick.
Hey. Keep those lockets within eye reach. I need to be able to see it.
No. You concealed those lockets on you.
Oh,
They didn't
okay.
find them.
Please.
They didn't find them. That was just to see like that.
Oh.
That was a good roll. You did good.
Thanks. I did
You did good, sweetie.
good.
That being the case, boys, pull up a chair, and like chairs start being pulled up. You all get sat down, and he
we
goes
get-
around to the other side of the desk and sits down across from you. What? Can you say that again, Beatrice?
Yeah. I've heard lots of really good things about this whiskey. Do we get to try some while we're sitting having this meeting, Gelvin? And like bats her eyelashes at him.
Oh my god! Make a persuasion check. Honestly, do it at advantage because you can't resist a pretty girl.
I relate.
Not that my persuasion's very good. Oh well, thank God it was at advantage. That's 17.
Nice. All right. Well, if we're gonna start talking business, we might as well at least do it with a drink in hand. As at this point, some of the goblins that are in the room come back with glasses and some of the casks that are on the side that seem to already have a plug in them or like a drain dial on them. It just gets twisted, comes down, and you see this beautiful brown liquid that swishes and doesn't leave too much of like a trail behind it. It looks like it's the perfect viscosity. You take a sniff and you smell the deep oaken richness of the woods that it has been seeped in for so long. At that point, you get like notes of like nutmeg. There's a little bit of cinnamon, maybe a bit of clove in it, and then you just the tiniest whiff of this, like it's almost acrid, and it also smells like some of the off smelts from from your forging.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very minor, but you just get that tiny hint of it in there. And everything gets plopped down in front of all of you, including Gelman. He takes a little bit of a drink. That's the good stuff right there. All right. So, if you're here to have a conversation, what do you want?
Well, I guess I will start with, probably the important stuff, kind of why we were kind of, around the colors. We were looking for, remember, were you involved when, going back and I went out to that place a long time ago? Like a
Yeah.
year ago?
Of course.
Yeah, who kind of organized that?
That was Sabric who does that.
Okay. Yeah, 'cause like that, we were pretty deep into it right off the bat. So, like I don't know, he and the colors were both kind of looking in the same direction, and so we're trying to understand what was going on there. Like we only just found this out kind of recently, and so want to know about that, but obviously you don't know. But Howard, what's the name of that one person we want to talk about? Katrina?
Katrina.
Yeah, Katrina. Does that name ring a bell?
I have no idea who the fuck you're talking about.
Good.
Huh.
What do
Insight
you
check?
know?
Make an insight check.
Four.
Tight. You,
Four.
yeah. He's good at talking, but not perceiving. I mean,
Yep. He said
you believe he said what he said. He seems very earnest in what he had said.
Okay. Huh. Was that it?
Do
Sabrak's the one who does that kind of stuff.
Mm.
He has all the legit businesses.
Mm. How's he doing these days?
You're gonna have to go talk to him yourself. I don't make a habit of talking about business partners in front of people I don't trust fully.
I hope that wasn't directed at me.
That was definitely directed at you. He's looking at you just.
No, I thought we were closer than that.
Trust is hard to earn, easily shattered. What can I say?
Fair enough. Love is scorned, as they say.
Yes. Because I am absolutely scorned by your love.
Oh, no, not mine.
Oh my goodness, do you guys have like a history?
Well,
Gelvin.
we were kind of going for the same, lady, and
Remember, you get around.
Oh yes, I do.
You guys literally had a fucking sexcapade.
What? One of my very first notes is literally Yibber and Spleed sexcapade.
Paid.
Oh my god.
Did you get nailed, or did Gelvin? Did you? Oh, how scandalous!
Very scandalous, love. What can I say? I like to keep things spicy.
Same here.
Oh,
Good.
that kind of reminds me. The other reason I wanted to see you, and I did actually want to see you because I thought who would be, someone who would love this kind of thing, Gelbin. So just thought you would have some of this, and he gives him
Knew it.
5 regular slide and fill.
Regular.
Oh my god.
Not the extended release.
Regular fill.
And 1 slide and fill cloud.
Okay. So that would make a persuasion check at disadvantage because you're literally putting a pastry out on the middle of a desk and telling him this is yours.
Excuse me, I am putting 8 pastries out on the table.
You're putting a handful of pastries out there.
Yeah. And they're like little biscuits.
You'd still make that persuasion check, my man. Again, you're talking to a guy who you're lucky you're alive because you've had the background in history. You've worked for the government. He doesn't know exactly what you have said or haven't said, and you've barely scratched by a persuasion to keep you in this room as it stands. Now the fact that you're trying to convince him to buy product off of you.
I did not say anything about buying, sir. First taste is always free.
First buying, but the fact is that you're trying to convince him to take product. It doesn't matter what kind of exchange happens. You're still, from one person to another, it's still an exchange and you're trying to persuade him to take. I'm giving you the straight shot here. If you do not like this, I am sorry. But please make that roll.
23.
23? He looks down. He looks back up at you, and he sees like the different. It's like he sees the different types of shortbread with all like the couple different striations through it. Like one of them definitely looks a lot airier than the others. The other one. So wait, how many of what did you put down? What was it? 5 of the regular, 1 of the specialties.
2 slide and fill plus. That's the hill giant strength. And then 1 slide and fill cloud.
Okay, so it was just 3 that you put down. Or
And
5
And
regular.
5 regular.
5 regular. Okay, so
Like, you don't want to go right into cloud. Like, gotta ground yourself first. I still don't know what slide until fire does. Oh no.
no,
Hasty.
you would have had enough downtime to have tried it. That being the case, he looks down, he looks up, he sees the different colorations and striations of all these, like, basically shortbread that's in front of him.
So, I know this looks a bit more proper than what I normally try and offer you. We can agree on that, I think. Normally it's mushrooms, normally it's beer shrub, normally it's a piece of bark. This is a bit more presentable because I want to be, and he kind of grabs his coat, want to be a bit more presentable, like a certain businessman of certain wealth and taste, as he kind of looks around. And so, not to impede on your clientele, your territory, your industry, I thought I would focus on another industry that is underserved but highly sought after, particularly in one's waning years. So, this is what I call slide and fill. You know those blue clams? Like, you've had the blue clams, right?
it's really
Yep.
good.
You've had the blue clams. Don't tell me you haven't. Okay.
He's just staring at you this whole time, dead silent.
Huh. Well, this is going to be one of my tougher sales. So takes
You want a demonstration, Gelvin?
I like where your head's at, Spleen. Maybe not yet. So, anyways, this gives one a bit of, well, a lot of stamina and vigor. And not just the men, also the ladies. It helps one slide and fill. Slide and fill. And so, it lasts for quite a while, gives you lots of vigor, makes you want to go. And so, great for parties, great for couples, great for groups, great. It's just great. And then I have a couple of specialty ones that have a little extra kick. So if you're like more of a type of slide and fill, then I have slide and fill plus. If you're more acrobatic and want to, go up to cloud 9, as some of them say, I have slide and fill cloud. Just please have, cushions and other soft things beneath you.
He sits there and he stares. He looks down, looks up. Even in the face of an impending doom that may be me, you still try and sell me something.
Well,
All right, I'll give it a shot. Just shut up for 1 second. I'm the one who's fucking talking here now. Remember whose domain you're in. I'll give it a shot. But remember, if you fuck me over, well, I've got these. And he just takes these. He takes them and, like, he opens up a drawer. He kind of puts them in, closes. So is that all you wanted? Was to try and sell me this and a question about a girl named Petrina?
Well, just to be clear, for that stuff, it was more so if you liked it, you can have it, yeah. Enjoy it yourself. It's also if you wanted to wet your beak of sorts. I'm not always in Menestad, but I'm sure you know people who would quite enjoy things the way you enjoy things. And so, just wanted to let you know, if you do want to diversify, that is something I can do for you.
So yes, that was everything that you wanted to talk to me about.
Maybe for you.
Yes.
Not for me.
The whiskey was good too.
Yes, thank you. for
Thank
the-
you.
A side
Can't say I've
note
ever had
on the
anything.
whiskey.
Oh my god.
Not all of it was enjoyed by us through consumption. You might enjoy being able to leverage this. One of the bottles of your whiskey that you rewarded us with way back served to save the city of Solness.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
You're telling me you didn't enjoy that whiskey?
Oh, we did.
Oh, we did.
We wanted
Well,
to
one of the
save it for like
bottles was not
special occasions, but
Consumed.
shit went down, and so
You just see like a shit-eating grin, just like. You said somebody on fire with that thing?
Let me show you, if you don't mind. And since major illusion or major
image.
yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Since I cast it high enough it doesn't dispel, I'm just gonna slowly recreate so he can see what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna make a large decent image in the room and just show him what happened in the battle.
And so this I'm trying to remember when you used this.
It was in the room with the anti-magic glyphs.
Ah,
Boom.
yes, I remember that. So you basically detail make a history check.
Okie dokie.
Just
To
as
see how
a
well I can reproduce
recall
from
it.
memory.
Exactly.
It's one of these is my character sheet.
Too many windows.
11.
11. Okay. You do a pretty good job recreating this whole scene. It's you kind of get the general idea what's going on. The frosted caves that have been frozen over, and stalactites and stalagmites, and especially like a couple of columns of like stone that go up into the ceiling with the center teleportation circle. It's fairly detailed ish. A couple, like you feel like you're missing a couple of details, but I mean, in the general grand scheme of thing, when you're trying to show the one major thing instead of a portrait landscape, you kind of get the point. You see that I'm trying to remember exactly what you did.
I basically Molotov cocktailed it because of
Yeah.
the anti-magic in the area.
Yeah.
And hucked it, and it nat 20'd and went kaboom and really did a lot of damage.
Yeah, cool. So it shows you guys getting pelted by being pelted by arrows, trying your best to keep under cover, seeing advancing orc, half orc, true or like units coming towards you, and taking one chance, you grab the bottle out of your pouch, you uncork it, just pulling, shoved a rag in it, lit it on fire, and chucked it. And as it hit the ground, it hit in such a way where the glass, like the crystalline glass, shattered, and that added to the damage that flew away. And at this point, you see Gelman's eyes like glazing over. His smile is just so big. It's like, oh my god, that is so beautiful.
Yeah.
Are you telling me my shit did that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so glad I put fucking gunpowder in that one.
That one?
Oh yeah, I don't normally do that.
Boy, we
I was
got
trying to take the piss off of you. I
Oh
wanted to see if you guys actually drank it and see if you got a bit of a stomach ache.
Oh my god, I did.
You know what?
Ugh,
Mm,
you need to add.
I'm
salt.
starting to warm up to you guys now. But that being the case, please do me a favor. Get the fuck out.
What? That wasn't even. I didn't even get to this. Why? Ugh.
What? You got something to say?
Yeah.
Okay, what is it, sweetie? What do you want?
So, it was really my idea to come see you.
Well, I quite appreciate that.
Yeah. Cause when it comes to see in my head, for someone that knows information, it's you. I mean, this book smarts and all that stuff, that's great and all. You can read whatever the fuck you want, but when it comes to the real world and seeing what's out there, you're in there. You have it. You have that information and that access. I don't know how far out your eyes are like spread out, but I know that you know shit. Am I wrong?
Oh, I know shit. I got my eyes everywhere. Remember, rats. Rats are everywhere.
Right.
He's like he points. He kind of like he does a little bit of a gesturing to the scar, like the same burn mark on his neck as you have on yours.
Mhm.
Because every one of these goblins in this room has that same burn mark. We're rats. We're everywhere. All right, if you want to know something, the most western tribes east of the Velen Rapids, basically where you have been, where you were posted for a while there, Yimmer. The goblin tribes are moving east. Apparently, they've been ordered back. This is from my birds inside.
Why?
They don't know. They're not trusted with that kind of information, but that's significant.
Yeah, that's kind of what. Everything just went quiet. There was a bunch of attacks, just coordinated. Boom, 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 and then silence. And nothing. And it's really. I don't like it. It's hard to hunt it down without it leaving any tracks.
You know as well as I do that those orcs don't like talking to us.
Yeah.
So, when my guys say that they don't know why they're moving,
They don't know.
they don't know.
Yeah.
And I believe that. I could try and
Too
press them for
close
information, but
without-
at that point, there isn't a point.
Yeah. And it's probably way too risky to. Gods know what's going on. I mean, it's. I don't know.
I
But-
don't either. And you're right. I've heard the attack on Solness and subsequent liberation. I didn't realize you were a part of it. So thank you for the nice show.
It was one
Very
of the
cool.
things the colors needed us to do, and
Yeah. Motherfuckers.
one of several
Motherfuckers.
things we did for them that we gave them so much information to help with this fucking cult. Let them know the White Hand is working with this cult, or is behind this cult. Who fucking knows? They're probably one and the same.
I really think there's a mole.
You wait, you're telling me that these fuckers, the ones that were running around here 6 months ago, were part of the White Hand?
Somehow involved. The White Hand's probably controlling them, honestly.
I think they all have like the same goal or something.
Mm.
And they're always so many steps ahead.
Mm-hmm.
I really feel like there's a mole. A high up mole.
It could be
more
more.
moles. There was.
It could be more, but have you ever considered that maybe this was all part of the plan?
What?
You mean like the colors plan?
No. No.
Let's say, oh, well then.
I mean-
I've always
Put
wanted
everyone on the
that.
defensive and then back off and do something else.
Exactly.
It's smart.
It's coordinated,
And that's what.
but it's also
concerns me,
thought. It's thought through.
Because everything they've done has been coordinated.
If you catch people off guard, if you do it once, that's just coincidence, or at least you thought of it once. If you're doing it time and time again, then this is anticipation.
Yeah, I think we're like on some sort of. We're on the wrong path. It feel like it's laid out for us. We just can't connect it. Like we have it somehow, but
Have you
Ugh.
heard anything about some guy wandering around out there? Real strong, doesn't stick around people, doesn't eat, drink, sleep, covered in scars. I'm gonna show him an image. Show an image of Ronith.
Yeah. We've ran into him and Yimmer and Diamondback have in a different.
I haven't seen somebody like that. And it's at this point you see one of the goblin in the back behind you guys. Actually, I kind of seen somebody like that.
What?
It's like,
Perk.
oh, pray do tell. You see this the goblin again, well tailored, like working attire, fitting him. A bit of a crooked nose. Looks like he's been in a bit of a bunch of scuffs growing up in his life, and like the nose is permanently crooked to one side and kind of like edged off a little bit, and it hasn't been set properly. Bit of an overbite as well. Underbite, sorry. When the jaw sticks out is underbite. Yeah. So a little bit of an underbite where you see kind of like a bunch of rotted teeth and one really white canine just like kind of sticks up.
Oh, what a cutie.
Yeah. I remember seeing somebody like that. We were doing runs back and forth. Remember, Yumi? It's like at this point, like the way things were set up, it was more or less like people had an option to go out to the old to the old city of Koihara, which is where you were, for months at a time to watch over like research teams from the academy and whatnot. It was more or less like you guys were set up as hired help for security purposes, but also kind of like a casing for possible artifacts. And if you could actually swipe something without it getting noticed, you could do it and bring it back to Gelbin. And so some of the caravans back and forth are more or less for, like, some of them are for the academy, the others are for Gelbin to try and sell off underneath the black market. And this was all set up through Sabrak because Sabrak has more quote unquote legitimate connections.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, when he says, doing the runs back and forth, it's not he did something with you. It's more or less like the idea of like this is a network that has been set up and utilized.
Okay.
So yeah, well, we've been out there. We noticed a guy who looks exactly like that. He just, I know, he just left us alone. Didn't do much. I'm really trying to get that tooth to show. And
Why do you look like Popeye?
Oh god, that actually hurts. But yeah, hey, he's out there. He's still out there.
He didn't move on from there?
He's out there. I didn't personally go out and ask him. Why would I? Kind of creep me out. Fucking man walking around out of stars like that. Fuck, gross. And Galvin looks up. Well, there you have it. Lass. He's still out there. Whatever this person is.
Not sure. Strong enough to hold back a dragon, apparently.
That's impressive. That's
Yeah.
honestly impressive.
Yeah.
You saw this? And he points over to Yimmer.
Yeah, it's what drove us out of Koyaga. And so, yeah.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Well, it's kind of all I got for you. I got nothing else.
Hmm.
Please, if you're gonna start working for the Colors again, do let me know. As a professional courtesy.
We'll do. I don't expect it, but we'll do.
Yeah.
We want to fuck over the colors. Would you join us?
Oh.
Now you're talking dirty to him.
See, now you're talking things I like. Oh, if I could stick into fucking Fury. Oh, that would be so good.
Right? I had to work with him,
Oh, dear God.
beside him for a bit. Little prick.
If you got nothing else to say, I am quite busy. So,
Yeah, I guess. Howard
you're
is just
muted, Juju.
grumbling to himself, I think.
Just one quick question as we go. How do you feel about the New Blood family?
I mean, old Baltrus there, I've known him for a while. He knew me when I was getting off the streets and whatnot. He always helping me and kind of helped me start up this whole little business. But I paid off my debts to him, and I've always been trying to do my best to make sure that he's been well patronized.
Good to know. Thank you.
Hey.
Yes. Now, please leave. And he's like, he starts snapping his fingers, and the goblins that are all like the goblin guard that are right beside him start coming up, like pulling the chairs back. Whether or not you're getting up is beside the point.
Yeah.
Um,
While moving and stuff, Splain is going to speak in Goblin to Gelvin.
Eh.
Thanks for listening. And that says a lot. I've grown a lot since the last time I saw you. The spleen from last year would have been rolling on the ground hating this, but I've changed.
Mm.
So, you know. And winks and then walks out with them. If they're good to say anything.
He gets up, takes his top hat off, and just goes, it's basically like a very gracious "you're welcome."
And I do like wearing fancy clothes, actually.
She looks damn good in them too.
Mm-hmm. Well, I keep describing very well designed clothing. Right on. So you get brought back out into the main brewery, the distillery. All right. So then, Yimmer, you want to lead the people out, and then where y'all heading?
Ooh. Is there anything that we need to do in the town? Because I don't.
unless you want to visit Sabrak.
I mean, Halsterian is at the guild.
Oh,
The guild
yeah.
hall.
Just leave him.
Yeah.
Do we want
Guys,
to
hello?
see Sabrak?
While we're down here.
I mean, Gelvin did say that he's in all the
Mm-hmm.
business and whatnot. I don't know if that's useful.
May as well.
I wouldn't mind
Useful
seeing
to
him.
you, Yimmer.
Don't know if he knows about Gumpy Tea. I probably should pop in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Do you know the way? Him?
You move.
Humor knows the way.
Okay.
You basically were like a kind of go-between. Even though you were freelance, you still made Menestad more or less one of your main hubs
Mhm.
to work. Because between Sabrak and Galbin, you were both able to you and Diamondback actually were able to kind of like play both ends and do it well enough to have the respect of both leaders. So at this point, you know the way to get to Sabrak's. Just one momento, please. Okay. Yeah, so Sabrak's place isn't actually too far from here. So getting out and and going back to the main junction point, you head up and you start following the direction. You know exactly where you need to go. Eventually, you make it to a you smell the strong sense of burning incense. And at that point, you realize that you're very close. Going into a barred gate with a wooden door, you knock on it. Oh, it opens up, and you do the secret knock for them to open it up. Look down, and so, oh, you're here.
Hello.
Hmm. I'm assuming you want in.
Yes, please.
The door opens up. Come on through.
See ya.
Yeah. As at this point, you guys walk on through. You head into basically the main area of the tailor shop. Into the tailor shop, and you see what is a bunch of drowish elves, kind of like managing like lists and boards and whatnot. At that point, you head into like a main junction where there's like a balcony following all the way around this giant like circular cylinder of a junction point. A couple of sewerways that have been purely blocked off with brick, and at that point you see the quartermaster there kind of maintaining the armor, the swords, and all the weaponry that are there. A couple of guards that are patrolling the main things, but you also see Tekran, the second in command. Looks up and down. He seems to be looking at what is a board of like bounty posters. Just kind of doing minimal study, looking up and down, seeing what has been new, what has been whatnot. He's not paying attention to you guys whatsoever.
And who is this? Sorry, this is not Sabrak.
Tekran is
Okay.
the second in command.
Okay.
Oh, Tekren.
Mm.
Tekren.
You see the ears, like the long pointed ears, just like, whip, whip, just whip, twitch a little bit,
I know you hear me, Tekren.
and he stands up impossibly straighter. Like he was already standing up straight, but he just like, oh, stands up straighter. I didn't realize that you were here. Well, what a surprise for you to grace us.
Yeah. Kind of surprised to be here. Kind of wish it was under better pretenses. But yeah. Where's Sabrak?
Sabrak is in his office.
Can we speak to him?
I
Or
don't
Can we
know.
communicate with him?
I mean, you could try to communicate with him, but why?
Tell him Beatrice is here.
I'm sorry, do I know you?
No, but Sabrak will.
He looks at one of the guards. Like, snaps the fingers. Yeah, go. Like, the guard climbs up a set of, a ladder. Ladder runs across or walks across, enters the main, enters in where Zabrak's office would be. About 3 seconds later, you see this drow, very finely tailored man with a saber at the side, a beautiful sash that goes right across, beautiful white hair, like gold, almost golden to the point where it is white, billowing down past the shoulder. Dark, very dark skin for a drow, and these piercingly ice blue eyes come out and look down. Just
And books it, following that same path.
I forgot the nickname. Oh my god, I forgot the nickname. At this point, you climb up and the guards are coming up. You just hear like a whistle, like a large sharp whistle from Sabrak, and all the guards just stop and step back. You run towards him, fall down onto the floor.
I say, do I take him out at his knees?
You pretty much do.
Yeah.
You take him out and down. He's just sighing very, very loudly. And like everybody, even Tekran's looking like, who in the fucking authority?
Her arms crossed, just like, that's my babe.
Yep. Yeah. At this point, you just hear a whisper from him, "Get in the office now. Get in the office now."
Why?
It's just, you get in the office now.
Why?
It's just, so you get up and go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you get up and go into the office, and it basically, he points at all of you. Thieves can't signs. Get up here.
We should go. We should go.
And then he looks at Tekra and he says, "You too." Which at that Tekran just looks at you with these evil, piercing eyes, like, "What the fuck did you just get me into trouble for?" And so you walk into the office and you all sit down. The doors shut, the lock behind you. The guards that were in here leave. At that point, holy fuck, I forgot you were here.
And then she signs to him in Thieves' Cant. Hi, my name is B, and spells it out.
Wait a minute.
You taught me that. That's all I ever learned.
I thought you forgot that.
No.
Ay, jeez.
Hi.
And then he looks at the circlet. Did he give you that?
That's a long story that we'll both need a strong drink over.
Right. Well, if you're here, wait, what are you doing here with him? And he points at Yimmer. Well, it's like, where's Diamondback? The fucker left. You fuckers left post. You never bothered to just talk to me? Tell me anything? I know Gelbin can hold a grudge, but damn.
We all saved Soul Nest together.
Yeah, it was one of those, you kind of sent us to do a thing, and we kind of got sucked into a bunch of other things, and I did not feel that it was appropriate for me to try to reach out to you and potentially expose you to the colors.
Make a persuasion check. Yeah, make a persuasion check at that one. That one would actually be at advantage because Sabric doesn't actually hold a lot of grudges.
Advantage.
Yes, advantage.
Woohoo!
And because, like, you are a trusted source.
Oh,
Did you-
no.
2 nat ones?
No, but close. 2 threes.
Oh.
So
Or 14?
14.
he looks at you. I'm gonna tell you this just as a DM straight across the board. The DC wasn't set too hard. It was just one of those, like, you kind of just had to pass.
I love pass fail.
And so he looks at you. I appreciate that. You still gotta send a note.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
So the original thing that I sent you out for, you didn't even do. Great.
That is difficult. They're not exactly, persuadable. They're kind of dicks.
I know. I've had to work with them. They're not fun.
No, they're not.
Wait, you've worked with them?
Well, that's kind of what we got dragged into, and kind of why Diamondback isn't here, and why we are here now.
I don't. Okay. Is he dead?
Yes.
Yes.
Make a deception check. Make a hard deception check on that one.
Yes.
I wasn't even sure what I wanted to say there.
Yeah, that's what I was like.
Please roll like a perfect middle.
Deception is something I can do kind of well.
Mhm.
21.
21.
Mhm.
All right. Hey, it might have been annoying to be around singing songs all the damn time, fucking old Kudurian tunes, whatever. But he'll be missed.
He actually got a big catalog by the time. Like, he really branched out. Should have had it.
Huh. All right. So, what are you here doing here? And still looks at B. What are you doing here?
Long story. Soldas got overrun by a whole bunch of fuckers. We killed a good chunk. Um, and Tobias was stuck in Solness, and then we saved him, but then he went into the castle, and one of them. And tears start rolling.
Oh, that would explain. And he points to the circlet of intelligence.
I was
Wiping
hoping.
her tears away.
I was hoping you might have found out. I hate to be the one to tell you.
I actually knew beforehand. Felix reached out. I just wanted you to tell me.
It's been hard.
I can imagine.
Gran's fine. She's got a murder kitty now.
Why does that track? What is with you? What is with your family? I thought I was an agent of chaos. Like, jeez.
Tobias knew how to pick them.
Yeah, he did. He did for sure. Yeah. I already drank. I've already had my celebratory and sad drink for that.
Same.
Right. So, again, now, business. What are you doing here?
Hmm.
It's just saying hi, I guess. I'm new to all of this politics stuff. All of this is weird. I am like absorbing half of it. I think the first conversation that was important I slept through. So I don't know. Smart people.
Yeah, I used up most of my brain talking to Gilbert. I don't have anything left.
Oh, you talked to Gelbin and you survived?
Oh yeah.
Hey.
Oh. Oh, he's just a sweetheart.
Oh God, yeah, he's a sweetheart with a fucking attitude of a bad
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're coming here to say hi, you done your bit. Can I go back?
No, so
Or
there were some things. So you sent us to Koriara a while ago.
I?
Um, that kind of got us all mixed up with the colors, and so we were kind of wondering what or who or why we were sent out there, or why the people we were looking after were sent out there. Cause yeah, a lot of the shit that's been going on is kind of related to stuff from there. So yeah, now that we've kind of said go take a long walk off a short pier to the colors, we're kind of doing our own thing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
All right.
do you know anything? Remember anything about the whys or the wherefores?
No. A lot exactly going on out there. I mean, we're trying to keep the cash flow coming in and out. Those artifacts sell for really good money.
Who's usually like really? Is there anyone really interested in certain things?
He sits back and he just gives you the eye of like, are you really stepping above your station?
Yes.
It would
He just
help a
looks.
lot.
He just continues to look. You know, I'm not supposed to talk to about any of that, right? You know, I'm not going to talk about any of that.
Oh, come on. We're not supposed to do a lot of things.
Yeah, but we're an organization.
Gelvin said you'd be helpful.
I think
Get
you were
that?
just saying that to get us out of the room.
Yeah, guess we have to go tell him he's a liar.
Were these
That's
snacks
not the first time
yours?
he's ever heard that. I'm not too worried about his feelings.
Was this your lunch? I'm sorry, I found it. I'm hungry.
Howard, who's that lady? Okay, you can't tell us about your clients if we tell you a name. Can you let us know if it rings a bell?
Fine. Well, depending on the name. What is the name? I've never heard of this name before.
Yeah. A woman of mystery.
Hmm. Oh, what's the name of that other guy? I call him No Dodge. You had an actual name for him?
Ronith.
I don't know. I don't know this one.
Okay.
It's a rare few.
Really?
Well, at least we know something. The direction that things are being pulled to.
Yeah.
East.
Right?
Yeah,
So,
that's kind of all I got. I don't know anyone else.
Let's go talk
right.
to a ghost, I guess.
Okay. Well, Sabrak, it has been a pleasure seeing you. Sorry I didn't write. I'll try and remember next time. Yeah, I'm in town for a bit, so if you have any things you need done for old time's sake, well, I'd say you know where to find me, but you probably don't. I don't even know where to find me tonight, so, yeah, we'll see you when we see you.
Sorry
Alright.
for eating your lunch, and I just like put a bunch of coins on it. Table. And I just take the lunch with me still.
Which is funny because it's like it's a fit it's a fish lunch with like this nice little like spring greens that have been laid on top of it. It seemed to be cooked in like a bit of a lemon, like a lemon preserve, so it has this really nice sour tang to it.
Yep. He's got like 2 platinums and like 5 pieces of gold on his desk. I just was like, buy you something nice.
You guys get ushered out. Okay.
He gives him one last hug.
All right. He's like, I will miss him.
We all will.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you guys end up getting ushered out of the sewers
Yay.
To hell. And then
to Hal. So you're going to the guild house.
Mhm.
All right, making your way.
On the walk over.
Yeah.
Good. In my head.
You said Sabrak deals with a lot of like fancy things. Do you not think he would know anything about the lockets? He may not know the names, but he might.
Felix would be the person, from your knowledge, and especially since you have the circlet on, Felix
Mhm.
would be the person to actually talk about origins of antiquities and whatnot. Sabrak is
Got it.
just a dealer. He's a fence.
Okay. Note Felix.
He's a fence, but he runs a bunch of other businesses, but in turns he's the middleman between this. Galvin is the one who more or less is contracting him to be to be the through man.
Maybe we'll have to stop in Felix's shop when we're back in Omber. So I feel like we'll go see Petrina and maybe get some more information from her, but Felix might know something.
All right.
So as you're walking through the military ward back to Mead Meadows to get to the guild office there, you notice that the military district is very much elven in nature and architecture, whereas this beautiful like art I want to say deco, but that's not the right one.
Nouveau.
Yeah, it's all like the fancy swirly things.
Mm.
Yeah, because deco is very like linear and mathematically, aesthetically pleasing. But it's but ever since the old empire has been taken down, you see new buildings have been placed up in more human style architecture. Intermelds in between both. It's still oddly very beautiful and well designed. But heading into Mead Meadows, you start going into more like the middle class areas of town, and at this point you see the style of housing go from brick to more or less like wooden stucco style. Things start getting a little bit tighter knit and closer together, but it still breathes a bit better. Eventually you make yourself to the guild office there, which is basically like a 4-story building in the middle of a sea of like 2-story houses. And so you walk into the front building and it still blends into the surrounding area. It's just a very tall version of a lot of the houses that are there, with like the with like a lot of the thatched roofing and whatnot on top of it. You see that the guild office is been thoroughly repaired since the last attack. So a lot of the burn damage has been torn off and rebuilt throughout the fall and winter months to try and get ahead of making this place actually worth living in again. Into the main hallway there, you see Glam, like an open foyer style Glam with a desk, sitting behind a desk. You see her hair, and she's kind of like bobbing it back and forth, seemingly looking at papers and whatnot. As she looks up, oh, hey, you're here. Are you hungry? You want something to eat?
Sure.
All right, well, I'll go whip something up for you. Any sort of preferences? You know what? No, I'm not taking requests. You're eating what I'm going to give you. And so she jumps down. And starts heading into the kitchen area. It's still like a very small kitchen spot where there's only a few tables that are set up and like a whole kitchen setup that is right further back, like full in with like a pantry full of food, some breads that have been baked throughout the day, but they've now sort of gotten a little bit stale. So she starts whipping something up. Are you guys here to see the teleportation circle?
I'd love to.
All right. Well, if you go check in the basement area, you should know where that is. I'll let you you should be able to freely access it. Elris left the door open, which is on par for him, but that's okay. Still, Halcerian's kind of been down there looking at it. I don't think he's making any sense of it, but at this point, where is he anyway? You see Halcerian come down. Oh, yes. I'm here. It's just resting my eyes for a little bit. Oh, God, you smell like sewers.
I didn't bring prestidigitation today. Sorry, Hal.
God. Whatever. At this point, you see like a bunch of like pastries come out on a platter. They're different like butter pastries, cookies that come out. This is just to hold you over until I actually cook something up. At this point, you just hear.
Oh.
Well,
For me, I'm like, oh,
It's
fresh.
fresh.
And it's like this is all out of frame from where you guys are. You're just kind of sitting there eating there, and you go into. So, do you actually go down while she's prepping the food?
Oh, I go
yeah,
down.
sure.
All right. It took me a second to realize what the fuck you just said.
Stop, my head hurts. Don't, it hurts. Don't make me laugh. The disappointed dad look. Please stop. Dad, stop. Oh no!
The glasses.
No! It's not it's the further it goes down the nose, the more serious
It was like, fine, glasses on.
no.
Trying to recreate the look that Grandpa would give sometimes. Although he actually had the gravitas for it.
Yeah.
Regardless, you head down into what is basically like a cold cellar that has like a lot of the shelves that have been pushed off to the side, and a lot of the things have been removed. In the center, you see a teleportation circle that is pretty much complete. Make an Arcana check for me, please, Howard.
This one. I believe that is a dirty 20. Yes.
All right. You look over Elvis's work, and it's honestly like it's quite solid. It's quite solid. You notice that a couple of the runes are placed in the wrong spots, but it's still like for for somebody who works in conjuration magics as him, you think that kind of a mistake would be detrimental, but it actually works in a really weird way where it's like it kind of loopholes itself into a different arcane feedback, which it actually enhances the speed,
Hmm.
the speed up of the teleportation.
Okay.
And at that point, you look and you think, "Oh, that's absolutely brilliant."
He is good.
Yeah, and so you spend this time learning and revising his work, so that way when you start writing it down, you can actually correctly place the proper runes in the proper spots. And it takes you this time. It is chilly down here. It's damp and it's moist and it's not very welcoming. This is very much a fresh teleportation circle in a fresh spot.
Hmm. Chilly. I'm gonna try to do it quickly and get out of there because I don't want to stay in there while it's cold.
Yep. By the time you're done, you get back up and the chicken has been cooked. And you see it's like a classic chicken, potatoes, and like a tomato soup that has been perfectly crushed and blend together and served. It is a nice, warm, hearty meal that you guys sit and enjoy together. At this point, and at this point right now, it is very much. It's starting to get dark. So
Right, Spleen, are we trying to go at night, at day? What do you want to do?
Um, isn't things are like, well, I mean, Patrina kind of like came to me at different times. One was at nighttime and one was during the day. I don't know.
Hang out the night here and then plan on
Yeah,
maybe camping out there a couple of days?
yeah.
See if
We
can.
should fill in Hal on what. Yeah,
Also a good idea.
yeah. And then we can head out together.
Sounds like a plan to me.
mm-hmm.
And if GT, if I remember correctly, I want to say that location was like half a day or a day's travel outside of Menestad.
Pretty much, it was within that range.
Okay.
And Spleen, the one like the couple months that you were out there by yourself, it was the area well enough.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a little rest. We eat. We go tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Perfect, because I am still exhausted.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Memorizing the circle, am I familiar with it enough to know what it will be when it is completed in the next week or so?
It's pretty much completed at this point.
Okay. He's just got to do some final touches.
It's all final touches and whatnot, but like the basic framework is all set.
Okay.
So you can recall it and get there.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of the detail stuff is more or less efficiencies. So, like, you see a lot of the stuff that will improve speed of teleportation. So at this point, getting there will take you 12 seconds instead of 6.
Okay. I think Howard is gonna work on some stuff during the night. After they catch Hal up, Howard's gonna work on some magic stuff, some rune work, and some looking into the books, the 2 spell books. We left the Archmage book with Baltrus, right?
Correct.
And what the hell was the name of the other one? The Spellweaver Consortium members tome is the one he's going to look into tonight.
Mm-hmm.
See if he can figure out more about it.
Okay, cool. Anybody doing anything else?
No. Yimmer, would one of your weird square yummy things with that help exhaustion? Or would that make me more exhausted because like, like we get into it that like
Yeah.
need a good nap after.
Yeah, I am trying to look into something that like takes away kind of being exhausted. The problem I'm having is after you have it, yeah, you feel great, but the next day, you're just exhausted again. So, trying to work on that, but yeah, it's a work in progress.
Okay. So we seem to like get ourselves tired a lot.
Yeah, yeah, it's just trying to find the right mushroom. It's not easy. Kind of hoping to find a bunch over, summer, because they'll actually grow, and then fall they'll really grow. We just have to go into a lot of basements and such.
Well, it
And
seems like we're heading into a forest, so maybe we'll find something there.
Yeah.
In
these
springtime.
are kind of,
Shrooms. Shrooms.
what was that?
Patrina shrooms. Patrooms.
Patrooms. Oh, yeah, we can look for those.
I don't know.
We can try other ones. The ones I'm looking for are Sue and a friend Rin. And
What?
it's Sue and her friend Rin. Sue and a friend Rin.
Okay,
Sue and her friend
run.
Rin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sue and a friend run. Yes.
Rin.
Rin.
Yeah.
Rin.
It's like
Sue's friend is named Rin.
yeah. Sue is it. There's some kind of story about it, but like there's it grows in 2 little heads. One is really tall and one is little short. So we have Sue and her friend Rin, the
Oh.
tiny one.
Ooh.
So like, but it's really important that you get both. That's the problem.
What if you just got Rin?
Rin, you kind of, well, can't bounce off the walls. Like you just, you look at something, then you look at something else. It's kind of like the cats when like they have that leafy stuff. Their eyes go huge and they're just like whoa, 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 whoa. But Sue,
Cocaine?
what?
Cocaine?
I wasn't giving my any cats that, but yeah, that would probably do the same thing.
I wonder if we gave the murder kitty something like that, what would happen?
Ooh. Oh.
It
Sounds
Yep.
fun, but also terrifying.
way to display it, so it like teleports, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could not run away from that.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, That's what Rin does. And Sue is just like singular purpose. But only for like a short while. So, with both of them, singular purpose and bouncing off the walls, you go.
Oh,
Yeah. So, yeah, if I can find some of that, then we can start making.
what color is it?
What?
Purple.
What color is it?
Guess we used blue.
Blue?
Now, this one's kind of like a purpley red.
Okay, I'm bored. I'm gonna go to sleep.
Everybody follows suit except for Howard, who's a nerd.
Yeah.
And starts studying the books and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
It was with that. You guys head to bed with all the new information that you got from Galvin and Sabrak. A game plan set for tomorrow to go try and interact with Patrina.
Yeah.
And with that, we're gonna call tonight's session there. Seems like a great note to just
Mm-hmm.
yeah, seems like a great note there. Just leave it. I want to thank everybody for sticking around. I want to thank our sponsors, D&D Beyond and Effects May Vary. Check out our Dire Bear Discord if you want to try and if you want to check out the Dire Bear Discord, if you want to hang out and possibly play a game with one of us, we currently only have 3 games running at the moment. Monday's Melody of the Maelstrom that happens once every 2 weeks. You got Operation Aegis for Tuesdays, and then you got my game right here on Wednesdays. If you want to run a game, please let us know. We can probably set something up for you. And yeah, we've got we've got Friday, Saturday, Thursday, Sunday open for it. That being the case, it looks like Dirty Rollers RPG are running. I was wondering if we should go raid them. So with that, I wish you all a good night. And I only got one question to ask is, do you dare to imagine? Have a good night.